Hello, this is Tony Neumeyer. I'm the author of the book, The 7-Minute Millionaire, How to Think Yourself Rich, and the founder of the Millionaire Academy. I have a question for you that most people usually don't ask or even think about. Do you have habits of success or habits of failure? Often when I ask this question, I get a perplexed look, and the person might say, I don't know. I have some good habits and I have some bad habits. What does that really mean when somebody says that? Usually, that the person is creating habits without realizing he or she is creating habits. These habits are not being created on purpose. See, we all have habits. One of the better ones that you likely have is the habit of brushing your teeth. Of course, that's a good habit. The habit of smoking by most is considered a bad habit these days. But before going further, let's look at the definition of the word habit. According to the dictionary, a settled or regular tendency or practice, especially one that's hard to give up. What's interesting is that most habits are formed by regular routine without any conscious thought. We just fall into routine and the habit just happens. Well, if we want to create good habits in the same though, can we? Well, I know in fact that you can. Actually, I use the techniques for creating habits to double my real estate sales in a single year. That's why I call them power habits of success. These habits can be anything from eating better to quitting smoking, losing weight, creating the future you desire and live for. Really, just about anything. In fact, what I do is help people create these power habits of success. The power habit of success is something that drives you and takes you toward the future that you have envisioned and have decided that you want to create. It takes you toward a goal or objective. In other words, they take you toward your desires each and every day without a burdensome, conscious decision on a regular basis. And it feels great while you do it. In fact, I've worked with people and done it myself where they make the decision to form a habit to take them toward their goal. The beauty of this technique is that it's simple, and once you've made the decision, that is a habit that you will form, you can start to program yourself and create that habit right away. Just over 50 years ago, the president of Harvard University, Mr. Elliott, gave a speech called The Habits of Success, where he talked about how people at an early age fall into two categories. Those that have the winning feeling due to the habits of success they had as children, and those that had feelings or habits of failure. He said this is due not to experiencing multiple successes at an early age and being overwhelmed with tasks that were too difficult for that age. He talked about how to gradually build upon past strengths to increase your current strengths. The good news is, using the techniques I'm telling you about here, you can start to achieve successes at every level in your life. You see, when you break your goals into doable and small enough tasks, you can accomplish virtually anything you set your mind to. As the saying goes, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. How do you create success in your life? One step at a time. When we program yourself with a small task, something doable that leads you to the greater goal, you begin to have successes that build upon one and then the other. Let me ask you this. Are there any habits that you have today that you would like to alter? Is there anything that you would like to accomplish with ease that you find difficult to do today? You see, habits are part of your subconscious, and they are either left to be put there by chance or purposefully embedded so you can accomplish everything you want to accomplish, simply and easily. This may not sound possible to many people. However, altering your personal behaviors through the use of the power of your subconscious is actually much easier than you think. The technique that I use stems from the realm of self-hypnosis and the science behind it. Now, when you think of self-hypnosis, you don't think of something airy-fairy or esoteric. As I said, there's loads of science behind this. However, you don't need to know the science in order to utilize these powerful techniques. I studied it for you, so you don't need to. So how do you form these new power habits? Well, utilizing the methods in my book and in Retire Rich course, you'll find that creating power habits of success is really quite easy. I use what I call PPMs, or personal programming messages. They're simply messages that you have created that you want to embed in your subconscious. By doing this, your subconscious will begin to move you toward everything that it is that you desire. Your subconscious is constantly moving you toward one direction or another. So why not take charge of it and have it move you in the direction you want to go, rather than some direction programmed by outside influences. Now, when you start to do this and take control of your subconscious and start programming your mind as you would like it to be programmed, you're going to start to see dramatic changes, usually within a very short time, as little as 30 days, and sometimes even less. Now, if you had a really bad habit for a long period of time and it's deeply embedded in the subconscious, it may take longer than 3 or 4 weeks to change that habit. However, once it's changed and once it's gone, you can use your PPMs to continue to keep it at bay and continue down the road that you've chosen for yourself. So how do you go about creating a PPM? Well, first you need to know what it is you want to create in your life. The habit, the direction, the result, along with the steps to be taken in order to get you there. It's critical that these be defined very clearly and succinctly. You want to write them out exactly what it is you want to program your mind with. And there are some simple techniques to do this. You'll also want to be able to envision everything it is that you're writing down. Most of us think in the form of pictures. It's scientifically proven that over 60% of the population think in picture form without practice. But for now, simply understand that it's critical that you be able to envision what it is that you're writing. You want to write this as if it's in first person, in present tense, as though you've already acquired and accomplished what it is that you're going out for and what it is that you're writing. Ask yourself, what type of success habit do you want to create? Do you always want to be upbeat when you're on the phone with customers? It sounds simple, doesn't it? But some people really struggle with that, and it can be an important aspect of what they're doing in their career if you're in sales. If you're like me, when I was in sales, I decided to make phone calls every day, 5 days a week, cold calls. Certainly not the most glamorous or fun project of the day. However, by creating a PPM around this task, I was able to turn what seemed like a Monday daily operation into a habit that I looked forward to each day, and that actually earned me tens of thousands of dollars every year. So creating this power habit of success may be as simple as taking something you're doing currently, something you don't enjoy, writing it out, reprogramming the subconscious so it to be a task that you look forward to doing each and every day. Earlier I mentioned how we all have a good habit of brushing our teeth. Well, of course we know the detrimental effects of not brushing our teeth. Our teeth rot, fall out, we can get heart disease, poor gum health, as well as just bad breath and lack of social connection. So, something as simple as brushing your teeth can have dire consequences to your overall life enjoyment. So of course, we all brush our teeth daily to avoid these negative consequences. However, I can tell you that by allowing negative habits to be programmed into your subconscious on a daily basis can also lead to dire results. Just look around at those so many people with great potential that don't accomplish or achieve their potential. They've probably never thought about the habits that are filling their mind. Without the conscious effort to fill your subconscious with the positive habits that move you towards your goals and objectives and desires, you are actually letting the outside world dictate your direction. Okay, you decided on the new habits you want to create. Now that you have them written out in a form in the present tense, first person, you now take those PPMs and record them in your own voice. Once you've done that, you're going to listen to them each and every day in your own voice, first thing in the morning and last thing at night. Doing this, your subconscious is working on what you've just programmed it with the very first thing in the morning before the outside sources start influencing it, and the last thing at night before you go to sleep. This one incredibly powerful technique can make miraculous changes in your life. So the question becomes, what habits do you have now that are dictating your life? What habits do you have that are directing your life in a direction you don't want to go? And what habits do you want to have that will directly move you toward where you'd like to go? Is there a habit that you can think of that you'd like to change right now? It's not only possible to change your habits, it's actually possible to do it simply. I've seen people lose weight and quit smoking using this method. Earlier, I talked about staying on task and staying focused. Using PPMs, you stay on task and you stay focused, again, simply. The reason is because you have a daily set of routines that are now habits. And because they're habits and hard to give up, as the dictionary says, I'd rather have a habit that is moving me forward towards my goals and desires than one that is randomly programmed. A habit that is destructive or working against you, or one that is randomly placed in your subconscious, is not going to get you where you want to go in life. Choose habits that are going to take you where you want to go. Ones that you have thought of in your conscious mind and decided to embed into your subconscious mind. By doing this, you are creating your future. You are creating what you have decided you want to create. Sometimes it's the simplest things that have the most profound results in our life. So don't underestimate this powerful technique in simplicity of creating new habits. Actually, power habits of success. Be sure to leave your comments below and tell me what habits you're changing. Tell me what habits you're implementing into your being that are moving you toward your goals, objectives, and desires. And so until next time, live rich.